Well, Mirror now brings you an exclusive report with female young entrepreneur on the occasion of Women's Day. Today, we are joined by Ms. Kirti Patil, a businesswoman who started her career as account in the office, but now after 10 years, she recognized her true potential is in food industry. And today we are joined by her, and she has a business of Misal Paav. Once the woman who was actually participating in Misal Mahotsav is now running an entire event management company called Chavdaar.
बेसिकली आई एम फ्रॉम फूड इंडस्ट्रीज एंड मेरे फर्म का नाम ही है चौदार. चौदार मीन्स टेस्टी फूड और लोगों को कैसे घर का खाना पसंद है. तो मेरा इनिशिएट था कि लोगों को एटलीस्ट घर का खाना मीन्स मेरा जो स्पाइसेस है वही मेरा सीक्रेट इंग्रेडिएंट्स है और वो मेरा होममेड मसाला है. तो ऐसे ही मेरे चौदार की शुरुआत हो गई. तो बेसिकली मिसल के बहुत सारे इवेंट्स होते थे तो उसमें मैंने पार्टिसिपेट करना चालू किया और मैंने मेरा कोल्हापुरी का स्पेशलिटी मिसल वो देना लोगों को चालू किया और लोगों का रिस्पांस इतना अच्छा आया तो मैं फुल फ्लेज ये जो मेरा हॉबी था वो पैशन हो गया और पैशन से मेरा अभी ये बिजनेस में मेरा अपॉर्चुनिटी आ गया. कोविड का तो सिचुएशन बहुत ये था हम लोग के लिए क्योंकि हम लोग का जो बिजनेस रहता है वो भी सीजनल रहता है. तो नवंबर से मई तक हम लोग का फुल फ्लेज सीजन रहता है. ये मेरा सीजनल बिजनेस है. बट कोविड का मार्च में हम लोग का अचानक सडन मीन्स हम लोग का एक इवेंट चालू था. इवेंट में भी हम लोग को पता चला कि एक ही दिन में हम लोग को क्लोज करना पड़ा. तो तभी मैंने इवेंट के लिए तभी हम लोग को पता चला कि कुछ महीने में 1-2 महीने में हम लोग का वापस चालू होने वाला था. बट कोविड दो साल कोविड में गया तो पूरा बिजनेस की भी वाट लगी और जो मेरे साथ और भी बंदे थे जो जैसे मिसल करती तो उनकी भी स्पेशलिटी पुणे वाले हैं, नासिक वाले हैं, सबकी हालत सेम थी. बट तभी हम लोग को फाइनेंशियली प्रॉब्लम अचानक मैंने जॉब भी छोड़ा था और जॉब से मैं स्विच की थी बिजनेस में और जॉब से अचानक इनकम सोर्स बंद हो जाता है तो मेरा कोविड में भी होता है. तो काफी मैंने घर पे भी रह के चौदार के नाम से मैंने अनेक सारे प्रोडक्ट बना दी और वो मैंने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर लेवल पे मैंने बांटना चालू की. कैसे बिजनेस करने के लिए तो कैपिटल की बहुत जरूरी है और मेन है सपोर्ट सिस्टम. बिना सपोर्ट कुछ नहीं कर सकते. मीन्स किसी का मेरे ही घर से यही था कि मैंने जब जॉब छोड़ा था तभी मेरी फैमिली भी बताए अरे जॉब क्यों छोड़ रही है, वापस क्या करेगी. मीन्स वो गैप जो है क्योंकि एक फेज में रहना हम लोग को पता है कि पापा ये पापा मेरे घर पे 50,000 रुपए आता है 1 तारीख को तो 1 महीना चलता है. तो अचानक जॉब छोड़ के 0 इनकम पे आना वो बहुत सारा डिफिकल्ट थी. सबको आती है. बट अगर मैं यही बोलना चाहती कि आपके पास कुछ स्किल है तो आप घर से क्यों ना हो चालू करो. क्योंकि क्या है कि लोग वैसे ही बोलते हैं, आदमी लोग वैसे ही बोलते हैं, जेंट्स लोग वैसे ही बोलते हैं कि क्या मेरी वाइफ क्या करती है, हाउस वाइफ है. बट वो हाउस वाइफ तो पूरे दिन में पूरा घर पे ही वो काम करती है. बट उसके पास कुछ तो स्किल है. तो मैं वही बोलना चाहती कि उसका स्किल कुछ तो डेवलप करो. बट मैं यही बोलेगी कि आपके दिमाग में जो चल रहा है आपके मन का सोचो, आपके मन में जो बोल रहा है उसको आगे लो. अगर आपके पास कोई स्किल है तो उनको जरूर आपने प्लेटफॉर्म देना चाहिए. और मैं यही ट्राई करेगी कि एक चौदार के जैसे मैंने अभी इवेंट चालू किया तो मेरे जैसे कई सारे औरतें हैं, कई सारे वुमेन्स हैं. तो उनको मैं यही मैसेज देगी कि उनके लिए मैं प्लेटफॉर्म खड़ी कर रही हूँ कि मेरे इवेंट्स में आके आप आ जाओ, कि आप पार्टिसिपेट करो, आपकी स्पेशलिटी लोगों को दिखा दो. मैंने भी ऐसे ही छोटे कारण से ही चालू किया था. आज मैं मेरा एक ग्रोथ लेवल मीन्स सक्सेस मेरा बिल्ड होते वो देख रहे. तो आज ही मैं यही कारण इधर भी हूँ.
Today we are here and joined by our energetic woman entrepreneur, Miss Susan De Silva. Ma'am, first of all, happy Women's Day. So today we are here to speak to a women entrepreneur and who have their own startups. So let me ask you the first question. What was your main inspiration to start this business?
Hi Toya, thank you very much for having me on this program. So my inspiration to become an entrepreneur at my age was I wanted to do something a little more, right? So I had been working for a long time in corporate, and there was a hunger that wasn't going away, a hunger for something more, something better, something different than the regular 9 to 5 job that I was doing, though it was no way 9 to 5. But yes, there was a hunger for something more. From this hunger for something more was born Goodness Project, which is more sustainable, more luscious, and more luxurious than normal skincare.
So, what is a backbone for your, who is your back support to start this business?
So I can't say that there has been one back support. There have been so many people who have assisted me along this journey. There has been my family members, my husband, my brother, my daughters. There have been friends and relatives who have helped out by being there when I needed them on this journey. There has been IIM Bangalore, who's been a huge support by incubating me and Goodness Project to do this venture and to take it forward. So these have all been people who and institutions that have played a significant role in what I am today and how my business is growing.
Being a woman entrepreneur, what are the struggles that you went through to come to this position?
This is a very interesting question, Toya. One of my favorite questions, because being a woman, there are so many challenges we face, right? Right from prejudice around being a woman. Now, being an older woman at the age of 53, I faced that many more prejudices than most other younger women, possibly. It was, I've been asked questions like, why are you doing this at this age? Why don't you retire? Why don't you take up some other sort of thing? I've even been asked, how much more will you earn? But people are not able to understand that, women also as individuals, we have our needs, we have our ambitions. This is something that has, that has egged me on rather than deter me. Again, there have been challenges around because traditionally as a society, I won't get on to that this thing, but the challenges Indian women face, right, with expectations on what a woman's role should be, how you should behave. But I've been extremely blessed. I've had family that supported me through and through. I've had a husband who's never questioned, what I do and how long I do it for, or if dinner's not on the table, he has always been supportive in supporting Swiggy in their entrepreneurship. But yes, I've had support, but I know a lot of women out there struggle with the type of support that I have had.
So, what message would you like to give to all the women for Women's Day?
So I will take the segment of women in my age group. I know today there are a large number of women who have finished their family responsibilities possibly by the time they reach my age. They have been working in corporate and possibly have now found themselves at a crossroad of what next. There are women out there who just once they are freer, they're wondering what to do. I just want to tell all the women out there that it's not too late to start something. The minute you decide you found something that you're passionate about and that is giving you joy, go out there and do it. It will make you a happier woman. It will make you a more productive and a better human being.
On the occasion of Women's Day, a day that we've dedicated to celebrating women, we're bringing you the story of Supriya Danti, who happens to be the founder of The Leafy Affair, a company that deals with botanical jewelry that's in fact growing and expanding. Joining us right now is Supriya herself. Supriya, thank you for speaking to us. I'm just going to jump right into it. I want to start by asking you, as a woman entrepreneur today, I'm sure you've had a lot of challenges setting up, starting off, at a very young age and coming to where you have today. Talk us through that journey. How has it been for you?
Yeah, well, it's been a roller coaster ride, I would say. It's never a smooth journey, lots of ups and downs. As you know, the ups are like amazing, and in the same level, the downs are like really excruciating, a lot of challenges and pain to go through, but really happy to be here.
Okay, when we talk about women entrepreneurs today, it is still a male-dominated society, and of course, while we are headed for a change, I want to ask you, earlier when we spoke, you mentioned that there was quite a lot of patriarchy that came into this entire play of you setting up your thing, be it family pressure or others for that matter. How did you deal with that?
Well, male domination is not just in entrepreneurship. I think it's there in every industry, but I think we have to break the glass ceiling, otherwise there's no other way to do this, right? You have to go through that, take that pain, hear all the things that you have to hear from the patriarchal society. There are a lot of people in the society who still think kitchen is the women's place, but no, you can be everywhere, you can be anywhere you want, you can achieve anything you want. So I think even to my father, right, like there are some people or relatives, they would come and say you've given her too much freedom, or you have let her do whatever she wants to do. But then I think I'm glad that he turned a deaf ear to them and still let me do whatever I was set out to. I think if your goal is set and if you focus on it, all of these things are just noise around you, and if you focus, you can go ahead and achieve it.
Okay, great. And one thing before I let you go, a little word of advice probably, or a little word of wisdom that you have for young entrepreneurs like yourself, who are probably struggling or who are coming up today, who are just starting out fresh.
Right, so I think it's very important to have a focused goal. Definitely you will have a lot of self-doubt, you will have a lot of people questioning you, but it all starts with that little risk. I think for young entrepreneurs, the one thing that's stopping them is not anything around them but themselves, because of a lot of self-doubt and fear. You need to come through it. Entrepreneurship is like a risk in itself, so just go into it, dive all in, thinking it's okay, I'm not going to lose anything. Just know that whatever steps you're taking, how much of money you're putting in, or maybe you're like leaving something important to pursue your dreams, it will end up being a learning experience even if it doesn't turn out to be a success. So when you set out with that least expectation, it kind of, you have nothing to lose, right? So that helps you kind of be grounded, and I'm sure you will see success.
I'm joined by Naya Sagi, a Mumbai-based entrepreneur who successfully built one of India's most influential parenting communities called Baby Chakra. She's also co-founded Good Glam, which is India's first beauty and personal care unicorn. Thank you, Naya, for joining us on Mirror Now. Let me begin by asking you, take us through your most successful entrepreneurial journey. I mean, what drove you towards entrepreneurship, one, and how did you create these successful brands and companies?
So thanks for having me, first of all, and it's a pleasure to be here. I think two things. One is that, India is such a at such an exciting inflection point in its journey itself, right? So I was in Boston looking back at what's happening in India, and there was this whole story of data, device, and digital democracy playing out at scale, right? So I was hearing all these stories come back of friends back home who were starting off consumer or digital businesses, and the whole sort of aspiration was then set on how do we come back to India and build a really large, consumer tech powerhouse from India and take it to the world. So I think that was the seed of the idea, and I think there were a lot of problems to be solved. For me, the problem that stood out most was the problem of, how do you connect women to each other, moms to each other, and help them discover the best care for themselves and their families, right, through a digital care platform. And that was the seed of Baby Chakra. Now, cut to, that's my entrepreneur 1.0 journey, but cut to, Baby Chakra merged with MyGlam in 2021. I joined MyGlam as a co-founder. And then Darpan, Priyanka and I, the three co-founders, came together to form the Good Glam Group. The whole premise of the Good Glam Group was there's an opportunity in the whole content to commerce play. And how do you leverage it across multiple verticals in the beauty personal care ecosystem. So of course we started off with beauty because MyGlam was there, PopXO was there. So we saw the content to commerce play out there. We acquired Baby Chakra, and then we acquired Mom's Co, so the whole sort of parenting vertical and the whole mom baby space. Then we acquired Sirona, Organic Harvest. All of these unlocked, the 6 brands that we have, they unlock different verticals in the whole beauty personal care ecosystem, which basically have a TAM of about $20 billion in the Indian economy alone, right? So that's been the journey, really. I think the journey of acquisitions that have come together, integrated very beautifully in the overall group ecosystem, and sort of seeing that scale out. So yeah, that's been the journey in a nutshell.
So that's your journey in a nutshell, multiple brands over the years. Now take us through the challenges you face, because this is something that we're doing as part of Women's Day. So as a woman entrepreneur, having had the opportunity to unlock all these multiple opportunities and so on, what have been some of the challenges that you faced in terms of exposure, in terms of getting funding, investment, and gender bias specifically?
I would say early on, right? I think that is in 2015 when I, came back to India and I started pitching the idea of Baby Chakra. I think that is when I probably experienced the toughest times, and, till then I'd lived a very, in my head, ungendered life, right? But, and I've said this before, but, walking into an angel investor pitch and, being asked, but what happens to the company when you become pregnant? Now, that would never have been asked if I was a man, right? And I was like, isn't it great for business? Because I'm building Baby Chakra, right? It's great. But the reality of it all is that there are questions that, you are asked which no one else, and therefore thoughts in people's heads which would never come up with a man, right? Or the other, experience I've had, which was a little bit later, interestingly enough. We were raising our Series A and, last stage of the IC meeting, and I walked and I waddled in. I was, 8 months pregnant at that point in time. I thought I had it nailed because our numbers were looking great, etc. But being asked, hey, listen, can we kind of evaluate this in 3 months from now? And like, what would change in 3 months? A quarter is nothing, right? Compared to like this whole longitudinal history that has been shown. But I think it made me think that, okay, 3 months later, I would be out and they'd see whether my commitment would be to becoming a mother or with the company, right? So these are moments that make you think. But you know what? On the flip side, I'd really say I'm very, very optimistic about where things are headed now, right? There is work to be done, but I'm very optimistic. Some amazing women building in India. There's some amazing startups being, founded by women. And also, if you look at the promise that India offers, right? The promise from like the 3.5 trillion consumer economy to the 5.5, 6 trillion consumer economy it's poised to be. It'll only happen if women are economically participating in that economy, either as consumers or creators, right? And therefore, women-led startups will naturally, find, I think, traction with the financing ecosystem.
Yeah, so connected to that, I mean, you're a woman entrepreneur and many of your products and services are surrounded around women's products and surrounding women specifically. So that was my next question as to what is your message to aspiring women entrepreneurs, the ones who want to create something of their own, because you've done it very successfully over the last several years. What would you like to tell them on this Women's Day?
I think the first piece is, do not let go of your ambition. If you're ambitious, if you demand your worth, if you back yourself, you will find enough people to back you. But the core of this actually starts with you not losing ambition, you not losing drive, and you finding and actively seeking and soliciting backers who will back you. Right? I think that's the first piece to it. And a lot of women, I think, kind of resonate with that when I tell them that, because they're like, yes, maybe in the self-doubt that entrepreneurship brings you, right? You tend to lose, like, can I be really that big? I don't know. I question myself. No. You set out to be big, to be massive, to have massive impact, right? Stay true to that mission. Do not, veer from that path. I think the second thing I think is, it's really important to also help other women on this journey, and find that enabling environment, right? So, as a leader now, and other leaders I see as well, I think it is important that we understand the context that women in our teams operate in, and to support them in that journey. But equally also, by the way, ensure that the men in our teams support the women in the journey, right? So there's an initiative that we've launched at Baby Chakra. There's a group called Equal Parent, where we're bringing, for a woman to win, the man at home needs to be an equal parent at home, right? That's the largest time of attrition, right? Which is when women become pregnant or have children at home. So we've launched this across 30 corporates in the nation, where we are telling these corporates, and we've been forming circles, right? Where men can come together and talk about with their employers and with their teams the challenges they are facing in being an equal parent. And it is then facilitated to basically identify the conscious, unconscious biases men face in becoming fathers at home, right? So the whole hope is that we spark a change where men and women, pretty much when they are allied together, right, that's when change happens. You can't have one segment operate in an echo chamber. So I think the second piece is super critical.
India is flying high in the canvas of achievements. After getting the presidency of G20, now a solo bike rider, that to a women solo bike rider, is going to travel across the countries of G20. This Women's Day, let's know her story, a story of social entrepreneur, a story of pilot, and a story of definitely a daring woman. Yes, Rama, you tell me about your plans and what's the route and what was in your mind when you decided to do this.
So, Jai Hind and Namaskar to everybody. I had decided on 15th of August, after the Narendra Modi ji's speech, he said that citizens' responsibility is there for developed nation. It's a mission to be accomplished by every Indian. And when this was there, I just had to think that what I can do. I started first with giving 1 year to India. This is a complete contribution from my side as a citizen for 1 year. I would love to know that Bharat Ki Beti is going, and then it is a celebration, it is a proud moment. Then how I can figure it out? So I just decided that, G20 is coming as a presidency. So 20 countries, out of that 12 countries I am riding. So Y20 already came on board, and then there were people from Pune. Youth 20. Yes, the Youth 20. So that is a semi-governmental part of G20. So they came and supported the ride across world. This was a crazy idea before, and later on when it started, that how to figure it, how to chart the route and everything, then I had to put something of India in this. That was the blend of India, where the sari and taking a bike came up.
I was going to come to your attire. I can see you in a very beautiful traditional attire, a Maharashtrian attire. What is it about?
So I am basically from Maharashtra, Pune, Pimpri Chinchwad, and this is what is upbringing and my culture. There are so many women and so much of rich culture in India that only one person cannot represent it. But I, being a part of this state, I am representing this culture. There are places across the world in 29 states. I will be representing different cultures of different states. So Bharat Ki Beti is just going to present the raw Bharat, that is Ride Across World Bharat, and this Bharat Ki Beti is expecting all India to celebrate this moment.
Is it going to be difficult? How you are going to manage? You are also saying that you are going to represent entire outfits of different states. So how are you going to carry what about your food, your basic resources?
So save the wave, save the weave was the concept which Sadhguru and whole the volunteers of Isha had presented. So weave is a most important part of Made in India. Culturally, we are already rich and royal. Like we were invaded for the royalty of India. We were very rich country. So I just have taken everyone to that era now. That yeah, we were that. Like Jhansi ki Rani also have done so many wars in sari. So if I am riding a sari, I am riding the bike in a sari. So it is already a thing.
New normal?
Yeah, it's a new normal now, and it's trending now. I want it to be trending in India because it is our culture.
What about your basic resources? How are you going to manage your food, your water, the supplements? There are a lot of other things which are required on a journey. So what about that?
So Ramabai_official is the Instagram account there, and that is going to be a very exciting journey because in a sari, in different continents, I'll be looking. So food resources and everything, as World is One Family, people are there. Sadhguru's whole volunteers are waiting for me, and I have put everything what I could as an Indian and a 27 years old girl. So 27 years old girl, whatever she could do, I am giving my best.
Total how many kilometers?
Approximately 80,000 kilometers.
And duration?
365 days. Next year, 8th of March, I'll be seeing proud India waiting for me, and I'm coming back.
कुछ महीने पहले